A unique night promoting a positive and honest discussion about mental health. It's all coming to San Diego. Here with the details is former Bachelor contestant and licensed therapist Medina Alam. This morning, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
This is one of those conversations that can have a little bit of stigma behind it, and I think especially with the help of social media, a lot of people are starting to openly talk about mental health and making it kind of a center of discussion. So talk first about kind of getting onto The Bachelor, and then being able to talk about something like this is a big deal.
Yeah. I actually, while I was filming for the show, I had opened up about something that I felt insecure about, and that's kind of what sparked the idea of these events, of showing people that vulnerability is a beautiful thing. Not everyone will accept it, is what I kind of found from being on the show itself, but there are spaces where you can celebrate vulnerability, and I wanted to create more of them.
Were you a licensed therapist before going on The Bachelor, or did this help your career? Did it kind of spark an interest in what you're doing now?
I was a therapist before, and that's probably what actually sparked my desire to actually open up and be vulnerable, because I think it's a beautiful thing. I mean, I see people open up every day, and just watching people be open and honest and be aware of themselves. Like, I think people mistake vulnerability as weakness, when vulnerability is really just a sign that you've done so much work on becoming in tune with who you are and how you feel.
I just think what a busy job you probably had being on that show. You were probably everybody's therapist, sitting in this house with all of these girls trying to find love, and we think about Valentine's Day tomorrow. Was that a wild job for you, to be at a house with all of those women having to talk about mental health? Were they sitting down on the couch with you hours after hour after hour?
Yeah, I think sometimes when people find out you're a therapist, they feel really comfortable to share with you, but I always joke that I'm probably the last person in the room analyzing anyone, because I do it on a daily basis. So it can definitely be a lot, but I do genuinely like it.
Okay, well, let's talk about what happened next. So starting on community events, you don't live in San Diego, so
No.
you're just here for a specific event.
Yeah.
How did all that get started?
Yeah, I mean, because when I did open up on the show, it wasn't received well. Like, I got actually a lot of online bullying of people telling me to essentially not feel that way. And something I do as a therapist every day is to teach people that your feelings are always valid. They're not always logical, but they're always valid. And I just wanted there to be more spaces where people could feel like their feelings were valid, and it wasn't that it wasn't enough or too much, that your feelings can always be celebrated. And so I started making these events where people can practice being vulnerable.
Talk about how the event works. What do you guys do?
Yeah, it's an open mic format. So basically you can go up and you can share something maybe you've never shared about your mental health, or you can come and just listen. But the whole idea is that when you see other people open up, you're more compelled or inspired to also open up. Like, a lot of times people will come up to me after and they're like, I almost got up there. And it's wild to see people will truly, my last event, I had no one signed up to go. So I didn't know if anyone was gonna stand up. And an hour later, people were just trickling up, talking and opening up, and some people were crying in the audience. I almost started crying at one point. So it's really cool to see strangers truly connect in a room.
It is interesting that someone would want to show up to share with strangers, and you would think that there would be a community that you already have around you, but in real life, a lot of people don't have that. So this is an opportunity to go somewhere where you're going to meet people that are like-minded, that might be able to help you or share that story.
Yeah.
What would you have to say to viewers, or someone that maybe is watching that has been scared, to talk a little bit more openly about their mental health?
You know, fear is an indicator of something that's really important to you, not an indicator of something that you shouldn't do. A lot of times people are basing their actions off their feelings, like fear, instead of what's important to them. So I would say, if it's important to you that you feel connected and you think it's important to be vulnerable and open, then you should totally go up there, because fear shouldn't stop you.
Talk about tickets. How can we go to the show? It's not really a show. It's more of a, you're talking, but then bringing people into the conversation. So how do we get to go?
You can visit my website, mentalhealthissexy.org, and all the information is there. It is a capped event, and they do typically sell out. So I know it's far in advance, but yeah, make sure you grab your ticket.
Okay, take a look. We're going to put the information right on the screen right here so people can take notes. Unfiltered Minds, Mental Health Open Mic Night. It's all happening on Tuesday, March 3rd, so you've got a couple of weeks to make your plans. 6:30 to 8 p.m. in Kearny Mesa on Convoy Street. Medina, thank you so much for sharing your story, and hopefully you can help so many others out there.
Thank you.